It's the time for the package from China. Let's go. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in, because in this video it's time for a package from China. But it is not a typical package from China. It's not like the cheap China crap that we're sometimes reviewing here. This is an interesting product that I was just needed to pick up. This is the MDL, or known as the 16-bit Megadrive Lite edition. That is a one-of-a-kind, very unique piece of product that you can pick up from AliExpress. But is it worth your money? That is something that we're going to find out today. I have been reviewing a lot of different clone systems from AliExpress, and most people will know now that most of them are like absolutely garbage when it comes to the sound quality. Because this is not like your typical Chinese knockoff system. This is dedicated to an original Sega Megadrive chipset. When you look at the AliExpress page, you do have two different versions you can pick up. The translucent version you see over here, or you also have like the ice version. If you don't like the translucent, that would be another great option. The weird thing is, when I just ordered it, I think I ordered the ice color that wasn't translucent, but somehow they did still send me the translucent version. Kinda confusing. But what's the fuss with this thing? So like, what makes this thing so special? Yeah, there are some things that are like a little bit of a downside when it comes to connectivity, especially when you're looking at the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis add-ons. The PCB doesn't support any CD add-ons, so that is a little bit of a bummer, so you're stuck with just playing original 60-bit games. At the bottom we will find a QR code that will bring us to the manual, so far I know, of this thing, and of course that we have information how this thing actually, that it's called, like MD Lite game console. But also these things will have a serial number. I have number 100. And also what's interesting, that gives you like an indication what power supply you need to use, where the minus or plus is going to be on the jack connector. That brings us to the back of the device, and that makes it quite interesting. We have different ways to connect. So we're having the video output. We have the just the normal cable you're having. Think about your Mega Drive 2 connection, like the RGB cables, and an old school. And of course the input barrel jack for the 9 volts, what I understand using. And take consideration, looking at the bottom, we need to have like the plus in the middle of the connector itself. At the front of the console we're going to get ourselves 2 original game ports for using just original controllers, and a headphone jack out. The headphone jack out is a feature that I think was only on the Mega Drive 1, so far I know. Yeah, I think it is. But then we're having over here even the volume control for the headphone jack out. How do you implement games? That is kind of funny, to be honest. You need to press on the right side over here, and here we can basically push out the piece of plastic that is stuck in the cartridge slot. That's actually how you open this thing up. The connector quality is quite nice. If you're going to fit in a game, they fit in perfectly. They just click in, they feel very legit compared with the original one. If you want to remove them, that can be done fairly easy. But let's take a close look in the inside, or at least we could already see a lot of the inside because it's translucent. But let's remove the 4 screws, already moved them, and just like lift up the top case. And let's do just a quick overview of the case quality itself. But the overall of the quality of the case, I really like it. So we're going to remove the 4 screws. That doesn't fall apart, what you have seen before with different kind of systems. Think about the Raspberry Pi acrylic cases. But the overall quality, also when it comes to the corners, everything, they just made it absolutely amazing. And this feels and looks like a, let's say, very nice looking high quality product. But the overall quality of the PCB looks very nice. Over here we do have like the original Sega chip, it seems to be, is the 3156-123. And yeah, it's kind of interesting that they are using, it seems to be an original chip in here. We have like stated a lot of, let's say, different kind of like gold text on it. Like high grade multi-purpose use, like 1 chip low noise, and some other cool features. So here you can see like we're having even the switchless region mod. And yep, this thing is region like switchable. And the thing that you need to do is basically very simple. We have an on and off switch over here. It's just an on and off switch. But the reset, if you're going to hold it, it will light up a different color of an LED. And it switches to different regions. And that is very convenient, very cool. But original chip or not, let's take a close look at the compatibility. What can we play on it? Can we just play everything like an original Mega Drive? Or is it going to be absolutely a bust? So of course we're going to try out the virtual racing and the combination cards. And let's see how good this thing actually is. Okay, but let's take a close look at the overall quality and of course how is the compatibility. We're just going to use an LCD display, simply because I don't have a CRT ready to go in this video. But Multiguard seems to be booting up, so let's boot up a game and let's see actually how good it works. So let's fit in a controller and just see how it feels. Okay, there is some resistance, but when you're going to get it in and out of the system, that feels quite nice, just like the game cartridge slot. So let's power it on. Let's basically boot up a game like Street of Rage. Now let's see actually how it works out. It seems to be booting up without any problem whatsoever. Next up, the multi-game cartridge, and I don't know exactly what to think about the overall quality of the signal out, but later on we'll do side-by-side comparison with that. Okay, next up, then we're going to play a game through the flash card, and that seems to also be working just fine. And next one is going to be a new released game, Xeno Crisis. And the final test I think we can do is getting into the virtual racing. We do have a signal coming out of the system, so that's a good thing, but it also shows that we have a different region needed for playing actually the game. So let's hold the reset button I mentioned before. It's starting to get blue. Still going to give the error. Let's boot it up now. And let's see if it's going to be booting up the game in a different region. There we go. So the weird thing is we do have like the black and white screen going on. And the weird thing is like I also noticed this with my CRT television. But I'm using a SCART cable. So it can be like a problem with the SCART cable itself. They need to have like a better quality because it's just an AliExpress one. But this is actually what we're going to get with the ball games. Kind of weird. But let's take a close look at some gameplay and getting one of my favorite games. Let's plug it in, let's have some fun, let's put it on the right setting, and let's just check out how actually the quality is of the audio itself. The next thing I wanted to do is grab myself a Megadrive and just see what are we actually going to get when it comes to some gameplay. We're going to do a capture with basically an HDMI upscaler just to get some signal on my capture card. So that is basically what we're going to do. It's not the best way. I know there's also like a plug and play cable situation from China. Don't own it as making this video, so I'm just going to use this basic HD video converter. It's absolutely not the best way to play, but it's cheap, it's affordable, and I just want to give you like a captured, let's say, image when it comes to both systems, so we can see the quality, but also the audio. Yeah, just the audio. We can just hear it. Does it sound really crap? The Megadrive Lite is a surprisingly good piece of equipment that you can pick up from AliExpress. Unfortunate, it does come with a hefty price tag. Let me know in the comments what do you think of this product, would you consider picking it up? Thank you for watching and consider subscribing and hit that little bell so I can see you in the next video.